What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and finally the Red-Eyes deck is officially complete. I will show it to you guys here in a moment. Give me 1 second. I'm not so sure if my camera did justice, but I will be posting the photo of the Red-Eyes deck on my Instagram, so if you guys want to check it out. The link to my Instagram will be in the description. But what's cool about this Red-Eyes deck is that with this, you don't brick so easily. It is so hard to brick, and the extra deck is super consistent. And the side deck, itself is just absolutely perfect. So I'm not gonna waste any time. Let's get into the deck profile. So first up for the normal monsters, because there are 5 normal monsters here. We have Dark Magician, Summoned Skull, and obviously the 3 Red-Eyes Black Dragons. And the reason why I'm running Summoned Skull is the one copy of Summoned Skull is because of what's in the extra deck, which I will explain later on in the video. Dark Magician, it's simple. It's simple. Dark Magician plus Red-Eyes equals Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. I am actually running that card in the deck, and I'll explain why later on. But obviously too, the 3 Red-Eyes, it's pretty standard at this point. Because if you're not running 3 Red-Eyes Black Dragons in the deck, you're not playing Red-Eyes at all. Literally, you're not. So yeah, it's just pretty simple. Then of course I am running the 1 Red-Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon Red MD. The new errata effect, which if you guys don't know, I believe, yeah, so basically it says you can special summon this card from your hand by banishing 1 face-up dragon monster you control. You can only special summon Red-Eyes Darkest Metal Dragon once per turn this way. I believe that was the new errata. I don't remember. During your main phase, you can special summon a dragon from your hand or graveyard, except Red MD, and it's a once per turn. So what's cool about this card is that it's literally a monster reborn on board. So once you have Red MD on board, every turn you can summon Red-Eyes. You can summon pretty much any dragon, any monster with dragon in its name, that has dragon in its text. Anything. So it could be Red-Eyes Black Dragon. It could be any of the dragons that's in the extra deck. It could be anything. And that's what's cool about this. And it's kind of weird that they didn't ban it before they released Legendary Duelist Season 1, which I did do an opening on if you guys want to check that out. But it's great, but it's awesome that they gave it an errata instead of banning it. Because if they banned it, a lot of the decks that do use this card would not be consistent at all. So it's really good that they gave it an errata. But again, 1 Red MD is literally all you need. Then after that, I am running 2, not 3, 2 copies of Red-Eyes Alternative Black Dragon. This is the card that came out of the Megatins last year, and its effect says, cannot be normal summon or send. Must first be special summon from your hand by attributing a Red-Eyes monster from your hand or field. You can only special summon Red-Eyes Alternative Black Dragon once per turn this way. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its own possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can target a level 7 or lower Red-Eyes monster in your grave, except Red-Eyes Alternative, special summon it, and if it was a Red-Eyes Black Dragon that was special summoned, its original attack points becomes double. So if you if you summon, like say Red-Eyes Black Flare Dragon or Red-Eyes Black Dragon himself, their attack points will become double. So it'll go from 2,400 to 4,800, and that's what's cool about this, is that you don't need 3, because if you run 3, that's like one of the big breaks in the deck. Because if you don't have any resources in your hand to summon Red-Eyes Alternative Black Dragon, you will break and you won't be able to go. I wouldn't say full combo, because this deck, in my personal opinion, is not combo based, but you won't be able to get out the board that you need, basically. So that's why I'm only running 2. And then of course I am also running 2 Red-Eyes Black Flare Dragons, which I believe this is the only Gemini monster in the deck. But of course, when you have Gemini monsters in your deck, the effect is still the same, because it says this card is treated as a normal monster while on the field, while face up on the field or in the graveyard. And while this card is a normal monster on field, you can normal summon it to have it become an effect monster with this effect. So when you do that, its effect says if damage count is performed involving this card at the end of the battle phase, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to this card's original attack point, and obviously it is a once per turn. But you're not using Flare Dragon for its effect. You want to use it as a fusion target or as an Xyz target to go for your Xyz. And there are 3 Xyz monsters in the deck. Actually, the extra deck is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fusions, 3 Xyz, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Link monsters. So it's a pretty good balance. But I'll showcase you guys what the extra deck looks like later on in the video. And then of course the 1 Red-Eyes Wyvern. A lot of people will make a mistake and not use Red-Eyes Wyvern, but you need it because its effect works when it's in the graveyard. And it says during your end phase, if you did not normal summon or set a monster this turn, you can banish this card from your grave and then target a Red-Eyes monster in your grave and special summon it. So it's basically another Monster Reborn, which is absolutely nuts. Then I'm running two copies of Gearfree the Red-Eyes Iron Knight. What's weird is that some people will make the mistake of running 3. That is the wrong way to go, because if you run 3, you don't want your hand completely clogged with a bunch of 4-star monsters, and then you won't be able to get out your big beaters on board. So yeah. So what's cool about Gearfree is that its effect is similar to the original Gearfree the Iron Knight. Similar, very similar, but with an added twist. So it says once per turn, if either player equips an equipped card or cards to this card, you can destroy those equipped cards. Then you can destroy a spell or trap your opponent controls. So it's basically kind of like a twin twister, so to speak. Once per turn, you can send an equipped monster you control that is equipped to this card to the graveyard. Then target a lower summon or lower Red-Eyes monster in your grave and special summon. So again, it's a twin twister and a Monster Reborn on board. That's why I'm only running 2. And then I'm also running basically the Red-Eyes hand trap which is Red-Eyes Retro Dragon. Which is effect is pretty interesting. So if a level summon or lower Red-Eyes monster or monsters you control is destroyed by your opponent's attack or card effect and sent to your graveyard while this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card in defense position, and if you do special summon as many of those destroyed monsters as possible in the same position they were in when destroyed. So again, it's a hand trap. You contribute this card. You can normal summon a Red-Eyes monster during your main phase this turn, in addition to your normal summoner set, and you can only gain that effect once per turn. So again, it's a hand trap. It's a Monster Reborn hand trap, but also with this card, it's basically a double summon. So with this card, when this card is on board during your next turn, when you tribute this card, you get 2 normal summons for the price of 1. So if you normal summon a 4-star monster or a 3-star monster, you can use that as a sacrifice to summon one of your big beaters, which is probably one of the best things ever, because Red-Eyes Retro Dragon, everybody from what I've known, from what I understand, a lot of people were sleeping on this card, and that's a no-no. That's a no-no, because Retro Dragon can do a lot of damage to you. Can do a lot of damage for you. And then of course I'm also running the one Red-Eyes Baby Dragon. Honestly, this is actually another brick in the deck because its effect, it just doesn't really seem too promising. But its effect reads: when this card is destroyed by battle, it's sent to the grave. You can special summon a level 7 or lower Red-Eyes monster from your deck, and if you do, equip this card from the graveyard to it. It gains 300 points, 300 attack points. If this card is sent to the grave while equipped to a monster, you can add a level 1 dragon from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So honestly, the only level 1 dragons that you're running in the deck are Black Metal Dragon and the Black Stone of Legend, which honestly you want to use Red-Eyes Baby Dragon for its first effect. You don't want to use it for its second effect. If you use it for its second effect, in my personal opinion, it could be useful, but it depends on what the resources are in your hand, because you want the Black Metal Dragon in your graveyard to use its effect, which I'll showcase what that effect is in in a second. Then of course speaking of hand traps, I am running 2 copies of Ash and 2 copies of Ghost Ogre, probably two of the more better hand traps to run. But of course with Ghost Ogre, there are other alternatives for it. I think Effect Veiler, because I know that Ghost Ogre is still slightly expensive. So if you guys don't have Ghost Ogre, definitely use Effect Veiler, which would be a good alternative. And then of course to the Black Metal Dragon, I'm actually running 2 copies of them. So with Red-Eyes, so with Black Metal Dragon, basically this becomes an equip card, but it also becomes a Stratos. So you can target a Red-Eyes monster you control and equip it to that monster, and it gains 600 points. And if this card was sent from the field to the grave, you can add a Red-Eyes card from your deck to your hand. So literally any Red-Eyes card. It could be Red-Eyes Fusion. It could be literally anything. Anything with Red-Eyes in its name. But there aren't a whole lot of cards with a lot of spells and traps with Red-Eyes in its name, because the spells are absolutely nuts. And then of course the Black Stone Legend. Obviously you want to use it to go after Red-Eyes, alternative Black Dragon, and then just go full combo from there. So that's pretty much it. That's literally it for the monsters. For the spells, I am running obviously 3 Red-Eyes Fusion. Obviously you gotta have them to go into the Red-Eyes Dragoon and some of the other fusions that I'm running in the deck. It's pretty simple. However though, the big drawback with this card is that you cannot normal summon. Yeah, literally you cannot normal summon or special summon either and anything. You can set monsters, but you cannot normal summon or special summon, which that is the big drawback, but that's perfectly okay. If you're able to open up with that, you're okay. You will be okay. Then also I am running 2 copies of Return of the Dragon Lords. What I find cool about this card is that when it's in the graveyard, it becomes a protection card for you. So if you're trying to go full combo, and like say your Gear Free your Red-Eyes Iron Knight is being targeted, hold on, is it? Oh, it's only if a dragon. Okay, so if like say your Red-Eyes Wyvern, is being destroyed, is about to be, is targeted for an attack and it's about to be destroyed. When this card is in the graveyard, you can banish it, and you can actually protect your Red-Eyes Wyvern, and then you can go full combo from there. So that's pretty cool. But of course too, it is also a Monster Reborn for the deck as well, so that's pretty cool. Then I'm running 2 copies of Polymerization. I'm actually using the OG artwork from the original Duel Monsters anime, because the artwork looks pretty cool. There's really nothing to explain what that does. We all know what it does. Then I'm running 2 copies of Cards of the Red Stone, which is basically a pot of greed, so to speak. So with this card, you basically send. So it's kind of like an allure of darkness, or you no. It's kind of like a trade in. It's kind of like a trade in for the deck, where you send, where with this one, you send a level 7 Red-Eyes monster from your hand to the grave, and then you draw 2, and then you can send a level 7 Red-Eyes monster from your deck to the graveyard, which is absolutely great because that would be a perfect target for return of the Dragon Lords, or even also the effects of Red-Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon as well. So that's pretty cool. That's really good. Then I'm also running 1 Dragon Shrine. I was thinking about running 2, but because that I'm running cards like, because that I'm running cards like Red MD and and Red-Eyes Retro and whatnot. You don't need too many discard card discard cards. Like Dragon Shrine is one of them. You don't need a whole lot of them, but Dragon Shrine can be another really excellent Dragon Lord's target, because when you send Red-Eyes Black Dragon to the grave, you can also send Black Flare Dragon to the grave, or another dragon to the grave, which would be another good red MD target, or even also another like a good a good target for one of the trap cards that I'm running, which I'll showcase to you guys here in a bit. So yeah. Then I'm actually running a card that is rather unique, but it works. I am running 2 copies of the Claw of Heramos because of the fact that I'm running 2 copies of Red-Eyes Black Dragon Sword. Obviously, you gotta have Heramos. It's basically a Joey deck, so to speak, and Claw of Heramos was used by Joey, so it makes sense. but again, as I said, Claw of Heramos works so well if you play it in the right time. And then of course I am running the one Monster Reborn. It's Monster Reborn. We run it and everything. Red-Eyes Insight. So with Red-Eyes Insight, it's basically a 1-for-1 where you send a Red-Eyes monster from your hand to the grave, and then add a Red-Eyes spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is really good. Some people will make the mistake of running like 2 or 3. It's better at 1 because you don't want to search all that often. You don't want to search too often. You want to send your cards to your graveyard so you can recycle them, with Dragon Lords and whatnot. So yeah, and then last but not least, to round up the spells, I'm running 2 copies of Call by the Grave. Again, we don't want hand traps ruining our day, so gotta run Call by the Grave. Now for the trap cards, I'm actually only running 6, so I have 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence. There's not much to say about that, but of course too, if you don't have this card, another really good budget alternative would definitely be Effect Veiler, because Effect Veiler could really can do just as much damage as Infinite Impermanence. And then of course the one Red-Eye Spirit. I'm only running 1 just because I already have cards like Dragon Lords and Red MD and Monster Reborn. I don't want, and also to the 1 Return of the Red-Eyes, which is basically another Monster Reborn for the deck. So that's pretty much it. And then to round up the deck itself, I am running Red-Eyes Fang with Chang, 2 copies of it, which I don't even need to explain what it does. We all know what it does. So yeah. Now for the extra deck. So when I mentioned Summon Skull, the reason why I'm running Summon Skull is because of this one. Archfiend Black Skull Dragon. This card can deal a lot of damage. It can deal a lot of damage to your opponent when you go into main phase 2. When you go into main phase 2, this card will be able to deal damage to your opponent. So that's really good. And speaking of damage, Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon, I just literally explained it. Borlo Furious Dragon, which is rather interesting, but it's basically a double cyclone. So you destroy one of your cards and one of your opponent's cards. It's that simple. Starving Venom, which is a really good, really excellent super poly target, which I am actually running in the side, and I'll showcase you guys how many. But how many I'm running in that. But again, Starving Venom, one of the best super poly targets out there. Red-Eyes Slash Dragon, not the best card, honestly, in my opinion, but it's a really excellent. It's a really good beater on board. I mean 2,800 points. That's a pretty good beater. And then of course again the two Red-Eyes Black Dragon swords. Just literally explained that this card is basically the one card that you want to go after the most, because it can help you go for an OTK. If you play the deck correctly, you'll be able to go for a OTK with this card. Combine it with mix it with some your Red-Eyes Iron Knight. That's a pretty powerful combo right there. So that rounds up the fusions for the Xyz. I have the one Flare Metal Dragon, probably I know it's weird to run only one, but this is a must, because obviously it's Red-Eyes Metal. It's another Monster Reborn on board, and yeah. So I'm not saying anything more about it. And then of course I am running number 74 Master of Blades, which is basically another good double cyclone target, which is another good double cyclone monster for it, for the deck. And then of course number 11 Big Eye, Mind Control, go full combo, you're good. For the Link monsters, I am running 5. I am running Bortle Sword, Darkness Metal, the Dragon of Dark Steel, which has been printed in Battles of Legend Armageddon, which I will be getting a box of, hopefully. Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. It's Appaloosa. I can't say any more about it. Triple Burst Dragon, and then Predator Planet Verite Anaconda. Not saying anything more about that. Alright, you guys, now for the side deck. So for the side, this is just my option, but of course too, you guys can do other options as well if you want. But for the side, I have 2 copies of Nibiru the Primal Beam, 1 copy of Artifact Scythe, 2 Artifact Lancia, 2 Twin Twister, 2 Super Polymerization, 2 Evenly Match, 2 Solemn Strike, 1 Solemn Judgment, and a Solemn Warning. So that's pretty much it for the deck. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the deck. I do have plenty more coming at you. I think the next one I will be doing will be a Malefic deck. I'm still working on that though. But guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. If you guys are new to this channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content that comes your way, because there's always something new to talk about, whether it's WWE or whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Also, do you guys make sure you guys follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All 3 of my links, my 2 Twitters and my 1 Instagram, the links will be down in the description below. And on that, again, this Red-Eyes deck is absolutely incredible in my eyes. I've done some extensive test playing. I was working on this for months. I finally got it done. I think it's great. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think about it. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.